this your car?
This is my car. Yeah.
What kind of car is this?
It's a 1966 Chevy Impala. It's got a 327 with a 2-speed power glide. Air conditioning. It wasn't as common as it is today. So it was a very fancy upgrade option to have that.
What are those square things down there?
So these are speakers. I didn't want to cut anything. There's no holes here. There's no holes in the dash. In fact, it still has the original AM radio.
Really?
Not AM, FM, just AM. This is all completely original. So you have the steering wheel, all the gauges work. This is the original cloth and vinyl seats, completely unmolested interior. I've replaced a number of trim pieces. I've replaced the carpet, all brand new. The floor mats are all consistent with the rest of the theme of the car. All kinds of little details like that. So the intent is that the car be like it was from the factory, with the exception of the suspension and the wheels.
Why does this car have such small tires?
Well, a lot of people ask that question. They'll say, why do you lowriders use such small wheels? And the most common answer is so that it can get lowered, which is true. That is part of the reason. But also, when a car is lowered, and this is just my opinion, the proportion of the wheel size to the wheel opening, now that it's so low to the ground, is better. It flows better than having a huge wheel squished up into the wheel well. So to me, and I think a lot of people appreciate that proportion is much better for when your car is on the ground like this.
What about when you drive? Does it stay on the ground or?
That's a great question. So when you're showing like this, you want to dump it on the ground. You want it to be low, all right? But that's not very practical when you're driving around. So back in like the late 60s, I should say, sorry, like 50s, 1958, and like that, Ron Aguirre and a few other guys developed hydraulics to be able to lift and lower the car from inside the car at the flip of a switch. So that way you can drive it up high or anywhere in between, or you can slam it on the ground. And over time, guys realized that the hydraulics not only can lift the car, but they can toss the car up in the air. And that's where you end up with hopping competitions. And now there's car dancing, so you can modulate front, back, side to side, and everything with hydraulics. In this car, I have 6 switches. Most times guys have 4. 1 for the front, up and down, back, up and down, left and right. So you can modulate whatever side you want with just 4 switches. But I have 6 because the 5th and 6th, I'll pull one and the back will drop simultaneously as the front comes up, and push it and the back comes up while the front simultaneously comes down. So there's some really cool dancing you can do. So these are the hydraulics, and literally you have anywhere between 3,000 to 5,000 pounds per square inch of hydraulic pressure that is forced into cylinders at each wheel. So you have 4 cylinders, and when you hit the switch, it will energize a pump or multiple pumps depending on how you set it up, and distribute that oil through these valves wherever you want it to go. So if you want to lift the front, the pumps activate and sends hydraulic pressure, very high pressure. In this case, these are rated for over 15,000 pounds per square inch. That means that every square inch inside the hose, you have 15,000 pounds pushing on each square inch of that. So it's a lot of force, a lot of pressure. In this case, I'm using 8 batteries, which gives it plenty of power, and 3 pumps. But normally I just use the 1 pump because I don't want to be too destructive on the car, even though the suspension is fully reinforced and you can literally bounce this car off the ground with this much power. But I don't want to do that. So I just run it on the 1 pump. Even though it's only on 1 pump, I can still control the car front, back, side to side, corners, whatever I want, even on 1 pump, compared to older systems that typically dedicate pumps to cylinders, which means that if I want to have front, back, side to side, I have to have more pumps. In this case, I can be gentle and just run everything on 1. But then the fluid goes from the pumps to the valves here on top, which are called pistolas. And I developed these with my good buddies 20 years ago, Sean and Jason. And man, we worked really hard. I'm so thankful to them and how well we worked together to design and manufacture these pistolas. It takes the power from the pump and shoots it wherever you want it. And so, you know, like a gun shooting, instead of shooting a bullet, it shoots hydraulic power. And it sends it to that cylinder, that cylinder. So even if I have all 8 batteries in series and all 3 pumps or 4 pumps, however many pumps, anytime I hit the switch, even if I'm setting it to 1 cylinder, all the power goes to that 1 cylinder, or 2 or 4, wherever I want to send it. That's what the pistolas allow, which is a different method of energizing your suspension compared to other methods. This is a high pressure hydraulic hose, and 5,000 pounds per square inch travel through this hose of oil, and it pushes on this cylinder, which extends the suspension. It opens up the suspension, which then raises the car. And then when I want to lower the car, I hit a switch that releases the oil from the cylinder. It goes back through the hose and back into the oil tank in the trunk. These hoses go under the car, back to the tank in the trunk. I've reinforced the suspension and the brake system. I'm pretty mild with this car. I'm always just kind of babying it. But other cars I've had, not so much, right? I tend to tear those cars up, which is fine. That's what they're intended for. But this car, since it's a survivor car, you know, I bought it with 66,000 original miles, and it's approaching 60 years old, this car. When I bought it, it had big 15-inch rally wheels with some big humongous tires, and it wasn't primarily the same condition, which is one of the reasons I really like the car. Originally, I was looking for a 66 Impala like this car, but lemon wood yellow, which is the same car my dad had. And it had a black interior. I wanted one with a black interior also, just like that, because I just love those colors. I couldn't find it. So after a year or so of looking, I happened along this on Facebook. And I said to myself, well, I can't find exactly the car I want, but this might work. And so I took my my wife and my daughter to Las Vegas, and we spent a little bit of time there. And on the way there, we picked up this car in Boulder City, Nevada.
Okay.
And there was a little dealership there, negotiated. And having never seen this car or driven it before, my daughter and I jumped in the car and drove it all the way home. And the rest is history. Everything in here is all the way it left the factory. If I change the color, that means I have to go in and paint the door jambs, and this is a lot of work, and there are little tiny surface rust here and there, because it's a survivor car. It's never been touched up like that. So I like that story, that this is how it was back then.
Fly a tire, NASCAR driving at speed. Your supplier, I stay higher on drugs every day. I'm Messiah, I desire to take over the stage.
A lot of people say, well, how did you start lowriding? And I started lowriding before I could even drive, with model cars, using little electric motors in the little cars to make them move around, and which is like in the late 70s. And then from that, I made lowrider bikes, and then lowrider cars. I've had a number of lowrider cars, and my background is mechanical engineering. I wanted to work on suspensions, and since there were no engineering jobs in suspension systems in Phoenix at the time, I was able to find a job as an engineer in semiconductors. So I was that for 12 years, and then I moved on into real estate, which allowed me the flexibility to pursue different designs like the Pistola, like the suspension systems and things like that, independent from an engineering job. And so now I sell luxury houses and everything from A to B in terms of residential real estate.